Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, July 10th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, we posted I posted the July 2015 Google Webmaster Report. So if you were sleeping for the past month or so and you want to catch up on everything Google, definitely take a look at that. The major things this past month or the past 30 days was the core algorithmic update that happened that Google finally confirmed. That Panda is still coming soon. We learned more about what's going on in the future regarding Penguin and Panda. We also talked about the thumbtack penalty and how that relates to great reconsideration requests. Emojis are gone from the Google search results. Google was caught powering Yahoo search. Matt Cutts extended his leave to 2016 and a bunch more. So definitely take a look at that recap if you want to see what's going on. Last night, Gary from Google basically said that, yep, Panda's still on track to come. It's not coming right now. There's some technical reason. He actually said here, it's still in the soon phase, but can't give an ETA for technical reasons. So that means, he posted that yesterday, it's probably not going to happen today. It's been over 9.5 or 8.5 months, depending on when you calculate the last Panda refresh was. So it's been a while, and I hope Google definitely refreshes that soon. A lot of controversy around links this past week. Google said in a blog post, in the Portuguese blog, that you do not buy, sell, exchange, or even ask for links. Google later went ahead and then updated that blog post after I asked them over and over again, what does this mean? Why are you saying do not ask? It's against Google's guidelines to ask somebody to link to you. And Google then added, they changed the text, do not buy, sell, or ask for links that may violate our linking and webmaster guidelines. It's interesting because one, Google made that change. So they obviously asking for links, by making that change, they're saying asking for links is not against their guidelines. At the same time, they're saying don't ask for links that are against their guidelines. So it's kind of like maybe I'm looking into it too much, but anyway, take a look at that, and there's a lot of discussion and controversy around that. Google said this morning or last night that links within PDF documents do pass link juice, do pass PageRank. And this is not new, we discussed this in the past. The issue why this came up was because recently I covered at Search Engine Land that a security IT firm went ahead and uncovered how a spamming or hacking site went ahead and injected links into PDF documents, tons and tons, hundreds of thousands of PDF documents, got those PDF documents to rank in Google, and then used cloaking techniques to, when somebody actually, a web user, clicked on that PDF, it actually wouldn't take them to the PDF, it would actually take them through redirection and cloaking to a spammy website. So Gary from Google confirmed that links do pass PageRank. He didn't really comment about the other issue, but he definitely confirmed that links do pass PageRank. Gary also made some splashing news when he said that SEOs should get their hands dirty. He said they should definitely go ahead and experiment. He said getting your hands dirty can be an excellent learning experience. It doesn't matter who does it, just do it. And then here's where he said it, which is good advice. I think you can learn a lot when you get your hands dirty. But then later on, Lisa Barone Barone, as the SEO world knows her, went ahead and basically went ahead and said, Google to clients, go ahead and break that money maker. She's basically saying, don't go ahead and experiment on big sites. Make sure experts do it. Don't break your website. And then Gary said, no, I'm fairly sure most SEOs learn their magic by experimenting and breaking stuff, and they're great. So he said, magic SEO. And then he basically went on and said, there's few, she's like, oh, so you could break your site. What happens while you break your site? And Gary basically said, there's few things that are irreversible. And he said, I even broke several giant sites before I joined Google, and he's still living. Either way, I personally believe, yes, you should experiment. Maybe you should experiment on big sites, but you should definitely experiment, and that will actually make you a better SEO and a better webmaster. Okay, this all goes back to not really this, but basically we discussed last week. Basically, also said Gary from Google also said that he doesn't recommend you going out to, let's say you switch your site from HTTP to HTTPS. And now you have all these links across the whole entire web linking to you at the HTTP URL, not the HTTPS. And Gary basically said, it's not worth your time going out to every single person linking to you on HTTP and asking them to switch to HTTPS. Instead, the redirect should work fine if they're set up properly, of course. Don't bother with that. Of course, if you have all the time in the world, why not? But you should definitely look for other things to do. Google said, and this is John Mueller while he was on vacation, sometimes you see Google add URL parameters to the URL. So you can see over here, UTM source is like a Google URL parameter. And somebody complained, hey, Google added third-party UTM parameters to my URL. Well, I'm nervous. Why is it showing up in the Google search results? And John Mueller from Google said, we grew your URL for you. It will shrink over time. Yes, Google over time will go ahead and shorten that URL, make sure they have the proper URL in the database, so don't you worry about it. SAPE links. We discussed this years and years ago. I think a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, Google took action against the SAPE link network. It was one of the major first underground link networks that was publicly outed by Google. And then a lot of black hat SEOs are still saying, hey, it actually does still work. It was interesting to see that, and I did a poll asking people, would you buy these links from this underground network? And most of you said no, never. Only like 10% of you said you would always buy it, and some said maybe you're unsure and so forth. So people are arguing, does the SAPE link network still work? Do underground link networks still work in Google? And for some people, they say it does, for some other people, it doesn't. Speaking of spam and links and stuff like that, the On-Page blog went ahead and interviewed Google's German spam fighter from the Webmaster Trends Analyst team. He's specifically involved in the Google Germany SEO market, and he basically was interviewed. He was involved in outing the first major link bust in Germany, as well as some flash mobile SEO warning stuff. And one of the interesting questions was, what does he dislike most about web spam? He basically said, sites that are purely generated for search engines and not at all for users. That's his biggest pet peeve. And of course, when you read these interviews about web spam fighters in Google, it's always interesting because you want to know what bothers them the most, and those are the things that they're actually working on, either through algorithms or the manual actions team. Google Weblite is, remember we discussed a month or so ago that Google is going to go ahead and, for mobile users that are on really slow internet connections, like some in India and other countries that have really slow mobile internet connections, they're going to go ahead and optimize your website to make it render faster through their own techniques. So they're going to replace your website through a Google served URL that would actually optimize your website. So now that's actually live. Actually, in July, people noticed a huge increase in referrals or data from those links, and it's actually hosted on something called GoogleWebLite.com. So if you see those refers coming through, it's definitely coming from there. I'm not sure why it's not loading. Of course, during the video, this iPad chokes up and it starts to go slowly, but we'll continue on. If it loads, I'll show you a screenshot of that. Google is testing a new, or actually launched a new ad type. It's related to these other ad types, and again, if it loads, I'll show it to you. But basically showing how it's called Read Now ads. So we used to have these with Listen Now ads, and now you can actually go Read Now ads. And these ads would actually direct you directly to the Google Play Store and let you actually go ahead and download. Did the internet connection die here? And download the actual ebook, I guess, directly from Google Play. So that's definitely in the queue over there. Google also launched a new search results thing within, I think, kind of ads related. So now if you, here it is. Let me show you all these. First, sorry about that. It's all still loading. So, I apologize. Anyway, here's an example. You can see right here, the GoogleWebLite.com showing the Huffington Post article, and this is what it kind of looks like. That's one. The Google Read Now ads. So here's a title of a book, and you can click on the Google Now to read for $10.99 in Google Play. And this one is new. So what people are saying, product reviews. So now if you do a search for a specific type of product, like the Olympus camera, you'll see over here the reviews are pulling from these websites, and these are what people are actually saying about the camera. And if you click in, it would actually take you to the reviews. And this is full review provided by Best Buy, by B&H Photo, and it shows you the actual full review. It doesn't look like it. When you hover over this, it doesn't look like you actually click on it. But if you do click on it, it actually takes you to the merchant. And that is not a CPC click. It is actually just an organic click, which is interesting. Mobile users are now able to actually leave reviews from their mobile device on Google Business listings. So if you go to a business listing and you actually click on the stars, let's say you give it 5 stars, it then drops you into this view, which you can actually type in your review about the business listing. So you should be able to see an increase in the number of reviews, hopefully, from mobile users on your business listing. So people are going to leave reviews, hopefully, more in real time on your restaurants and so forth. Google supposedly redesigned the hotel finder interface. Here's the old, and here's the new. And there's also a video we have here from somebody who actually spotted it first. I don't personally see it myself, but it's definitely rolling out for some people. Google revised the guidelines for Google Business authorized representatives, so like SEOs or SEMs that take care of a business, like a Pizza Shop's Google Maps listing or Google My Business listing. And they basically said there's a lot of things that they can't do. They're trying to protect the business owner from SEOs and SEMs from hijacking their listings. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that there are new guidelines around that. You should definitely take a look at that if you are in the local SEO space. On the industry side, Danny Sullivan, on Wikipedia, Danny Sullivan, a bunch of people have Wikipedia entries as being notable SEOs or in the SEO industry. We don't necessarily do SEOs, we do SEO, but we actually write about SEO. And Wikipedia said, hey, why is Danny Sullivan notable? They don't know anything about the SEO industry. Of course, Danny Sullivan in the SEO industry, search marketing industry, is notable. Anyway, there was a big thing on the top. It was up for deletion. Danny Sullivan's Wikipedia page was up for deletion because he wasn't notable. Anyway, Matt Cutts wrote a whole thing about him, saying he is notable, and a bunch of other people wrote things about him. I think the ultimate thing was that they should keep it. Let me just take a look at the live Wikipedia result. Yep, it's cleaned up and it looks good. It's a keep. So Danny Sullivan does have a Wikipedia entry, but Wikipedia is pretty renowned for knowing that they hate SEOs, and that's why they keep trying to pull down SEO profiles. Finally, XMX, the conference, released their first gender diversity report based on the XMX Event Show, and it's pretty diverse. It shows a nice representation of women speaking at the conference, and definitely take a look at it. It's the most transparent thing I've seen from any conference that far. Anyway, that pretty much recaps the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Sorry about those technical issues before, and I'll see you guys next week. Again, today was July 10th, and everyone have a great weekend. Bye.